Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow! Aha!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand.
Cemtv.
From Africa to the world,
Cemtv.
connecting every voice.
Yes, hello, wonderful people of Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria, and the world at large. How are you doing today? I do hope you're enjoying yourself, because I know I am. We've had a wonderful morning here on Cemtv, and now we're in the afternoon segment, which brings us to Jolly Life, where we bring you all manner of gist, talks, topics, anything that we can, get our nitty-gritty bits on, and we can, split it apart and drag it and, do everything within our power to make it as entertaining as possible or learn one or two things from it. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us on any of our social media platforms as shown on your screen right there. So in case you miss an edition, you miss one of our discussions, or you miss the gist, just follow us on any of those platforms at Cemtv Plus on Facebook, on Instagram, on Threads, on X, and even on YouTube, where we're streaming live right now. So you can share your thoughts on our gist, share your thoughts on our topic, and of course, share your takes on what we're going to talk about today. And I've been speaking French since we, monsieur, we, monsieur. Who is we? I'm not alone in the studio. I have the weather oracle here with me.
Tommy, good afternoon. When you said to be saying we, and then you said we've been speaking in French since, I was like, okay. Good afternoon, Tommy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm great. I'm, a bit tired, but of course, how do you say that? The job continues, the work continues. So I'm excited to be here, of course. And this is Jolly Live. So yes, I'm a jolly good fellow today.
Exactly. You are indeed a jolly good fellow. However, the person we're talking about today, or the people we're talking about today, I'm not sure if they are jolly good fellows, because this matter, na relationship matter, na privacy matter, na impromptu matter, like na every matter you can think of. Well, not every matter, obviously, but it is an amalgamation of different issues all squeezed into one. And what that issue is what we're going to talk about after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What's on your mind today? The goal by Victor Osimhen was amazing.
The economy. Isn't that what's on everybody's mind?
I would like to see more women in positions of authority.
If you heard and saw it from Cemtv, you can take it to the bank. Cemtv, your reliable source of news, information, and entertainment.
The birthing of something new, African, Nigerian. Our vision is to become a leading and trusted television network in Africa and beyond, delivering credible news, inspiring stories, and engaging entertainment that informs, empowers, and connects communities. Cemtv, from Africa to the world.
complications have, riddled social media ever since this video was posted. And of course, what is that video? It's a video of a man and a woman in a relationship. But the woman does something unexpected, and because it was unexpected, her boyfriend did not take it lightly with her. Once it happened, he was, oh my God, would I use the word ruthless? He was more or less, befuddled, shocked, and reacted based on that shock. And it wasn't a pleasurable reaction. A lot of people share their thoughts on social media as to why, someone who is in a relationship with who they claim they love would be so nonchalant, would be so uncaring. But other people on social media have said that perhaps he is not wrong, because you can't impromptu, you can't, would I say, spring such an issue up on someone without prior information. So, here's the video of the scenario I'm talking about. Oracle, we've talked about something similar to this a while back, of when a lady surprised her boyfriend, came to his house, and he was upset because he was like, why would you come to my home, my private residence, without calling me first? And of course, she suspected him of cheating. To which he said, okay, fine, feel free to search the house. You can go everywhere, search the bathroom, search the toilet, search, the room, the kitchen, the backyard. I can even give you the chance to search my neighbor's house, since that's the first conclusion you're coming to. But just know that after you're done searching, you're going to carry yourself and go back home. Now, we have a similar situation, but in this case, it's actually worse, as some people have said online, with some saying that they see no reason as to why the girlfriend will impromptu and without prior information pack all of her belongings to her boyfriend's house. No discussion, no conversation, just woke up one morning, carried all of her property and came to her boyfriend's house as per, I want to move in. So you can see him, he's losing his mind. He's yelling like, why would you bring this here? Who do you expect to even pay for this load for the truck? And it's not like she told him, okay, I'm going to show up, or she came with the items one by one to reduce the cost. She came with a loaded truck. So who is going to pay for the truck? Which is what he's asking. Who is going to pay for the truck? He's not going to pay for the truck, and they're going to take everything back. So now, in this scenario, a lot of people are like, didn't he say he loves her? He loves her now. It should not be an issue. Is it bad for your girlfriend to surprise you? I mean, surprise. surprise. He was surprised, but I don't think what she was expecting was what she got. But then, what's your thought on the matter?
Well, from the dramatic look of things, the fact that she seated on the floor, it looks like this was premeditated.
She laid prone
like
on the floor.
She was gone. She planned this, and she came to carry out whatever intentions it is that she had in her mind. I also think this is insensitive.
Okay.
Given the fact that, you're going to another adult's place, even if it's your friend, even if it's your sister, even if it's your family safe, you still tell them, oh, I'm coming in or I'm moving in, before you pack your things and be going back to that place. Now, another issue here, or another, conversation here is, if she could call a truck, pack her things and put in that truck, then she did have the time to pick her phone and call her boyfriend and say, oh, I am coming along, or something is wrong and I want to be here.
Yeah.
But the fact that she didn't do that, then there is a possible deliberate action that she's taking. Maybe there's something she's trying to prove. Maybe, they got into a fight, or maybe she even suspects that there is someone living in the house with him.
I mean, even if that is the case, shouldn't it have been a similar scenario to what we saw last time, where she came impromptu, But when she had that suspicion, she aired that suspicion. That she didn't come to pack in. In this case, she's moving into the home. So, on what basis, is the mindset of, oh, I think he's cheating, let me pack my load and come to his house?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it also depends on the kind of conversations they've had before now, right?
Okay.
Or the kind of things that she has probably caught him doing.
Oh,
but even
okay.
at that, I still believe that there should have been a conversation on, oh, I'm moving in. Besides, no matter what happens, even if you want to stay in the man's house because, oh, this man is cheating, bring your things one by one. Which one are you packing? Did they marry you? Which one are you packing your things to go and stay in the house? So in this case, I feel like there is an undertone conversation that have been had, something that has to do with maybe the man cheating, she's suspecting him, or even thinking that maybe there's someone living in the house with him as well. Or it might even be a case of maybe we've been dating for so long, let me pack into the house, so we'll start being married. Women can be dramatic, so there can be a plethora of reasons. However, at the end of the day, I still am of the opinion that you shouldn't move into a man's house like that, especially impromptu, unannounced. That is very, very uncultured. And if you're trying to make someone treat you right, you also have to treat yourself right, and that is not you treating yourself right at all. And also even treating him right, because that's not you treating yourself right, neither is that you even treating the person in question right at all. So I do think that this is a conversation, this is something they need to have a conversation about. But seeing how their display is, I don't think these two are open for a conversation. So I do really hope that they're able to sort their issues out, and I hope that nobody takes that as a sign, or to start moving to their man's house. I hope nobody actually follows that kind of trail. But then at the end of the day, I hope they are able to sort themselves out, and she can pack us in back to the house that she's coming from.
But Vera, real talk. If he actually loves her, shouldn't his first reaction have been, oh, what happened? What's going on? This one, you packed your things. Did they chase you out of the house? Did your rent expire? What was the issue? Was there flood? What happened? You know what? As a matter of fact, pack your things. Come inside. How much is to move the load? No wahala. Give me your account number. You transfer, and then you pack everything into the house, and then have a conversation first.
So to start with, we have not seen the beginning of the conversation or the beginning of what happened. If there was already like a small talk before,
no, because some people are saying that it doesn't matter what happened.
Well,
the
also,
fact is that she's
you
there
cannot,
now.
because somebody loves you, you test the person to their limits because they love you. For example, the fact that I love my father does not mean that I should go and disrespect my father or do something that will make my father angry. In fact, because I love my father, I'm going to be like very respectful of what it is I do around him, and vice versa. Okay, so I don't think that when you love someone, you should push the person to the limit where the person now has to exhibit a character that is now described as, oh, out of love, or this person is not in love with you. People have the right to their feelings and emotions irrespective of how they feel towards you. Because I like you does not mean that if you wrong me I won't be angry, or doesn't mean that I'm not going to react. At the end of the day, that, in short, I think is even more painful when it comes from someone that you genuinely really love. So in this case, I don't know what it is that they don't look to me like people who calm down and have conversations, if I'm being honest. However, I do not want to judge from one clip, but if I have to, they do not look to me like people who stay and have conversation. They look like very dramatic people, two dramatic people who have chosen to be with each other. And to me, or for me, choosing to be with each other can do a great job. It can make things better for them at the end of the day.
Yeah, make things horrible.
Worse. It depends. So at the end of the day, he might really love her, but it doesn't change the fact that he's angry, or he might not love her, and and maybe that also further proves her point of packing her things to come to the house. But at the end of the day, I hope that they are able to solve their problems. Yeah.
I hope they're able to solve their problem. Well, this case of lack of personal space within a relationship, it's one that a lot of people have debated for a long time. We've had individuals talking about when there's privacy end, especially when it comes to a relationship. Now, when it comes to marriage, I think that even if you're married, you should have your personal space. Because human beings, in as much as we are social creatures, we also have hints of solitary behavior. We can be solitary creatures, and at the same time, we can be extremely social creatures. In as much as no man is an island, no man likes to be in a crowd for too long. So, and another thing people tend to forget is even if you're married, distance tends to make the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
It is a fact for anyone whatsoever. So, if you are always in the personal space of the person you claim to love, that person will get tired of you. So the question now is, how does one manage personal space when it comes to relationships? Honestly speaking, for me, I don't think it's a difficult question to answer. All you need to do is communicate with your partner. Let them know what is your personal space, what is your private bubble, and anything that they do that impedes upon that space is, irking to you. But at the same time, some people will tell you that their definition of privacy may even have conflict with their own expression of love. So you can think, or rather you can believe that your love language is PDA, public displays of affection. But to this person, they don't even want to be outside to begin with. So you want, let's hold hands in public, let's hug, let's kiss in public. I want people to know that you are mine. I want all the girls to know that Nami get you. I want all the boys to know that you belong to me. But the other partner may tell you, honestly, that sounds tiring to me. I just want to stay at home. Can't we stay at home and watch a movie? Can't we stay at home and, share a meal or something? What would you then have to say concerning that, Vera? Where does privacy in relationships start, and at what point is it impeded?
Well, you already said something about communication, right? So as much as people are meant to have privacy, there's also the level of communication that should be accompanied by that. For example, if you are married or even in a relationship, you can't begin to have your privacy without first telling your partner, because your partner is not a spirit to not know what it is that is going on in your head. So yeah, also aside from personal spaces and all of that, as a person, especially when you're single, it is very important that you live alone, because you see that whole marriage thing where two people have to cohabit, you're definitely going to get tired of it at some point, because it's not easy to share a space with someone. Even growing up as children, you realize that as you grew older, you wanted to separate from them so badly, right? It's even maybe after separating that you begin to appreciate the family that you grew up in, but mostly you're going to have this mind of, I can't wait to be an adult, I can't wait to live on my own and all of that. So your heart would definitely be younging for the opposite. So if you are single, be single to the fullest. Enjoy your singleness. Stay in your lane. Have your personal space. You cannot be living with someone. I don't even think that it is right to be living with someone you're not married to,
Exactly.
Whether it is traditional marriage you want to do, whether it is, court marriage, but the institution of marriage needs to be established for you to be living in someone's house. But let's say we are throwing that out of the window, right? And you need to be in somebody's house, or you need to live with your man. It's important to create boundaries and room for space as well, because as human beings, you get exhausted from people, and it's also important that you create that safe space where you can actually have something to fall back to with your partner,
Exactly.
Yeah, so personal space, privacy is very important in relationships. You should always keep that in mind, and we should make room for our partners to be able to feel safe enough to tell us, or to be able to communicate our personal or our privacies to us, so that we do not begin to take it as an avenue to deter from the relationship or to leave the relationship, as most people will do. Once you start telling them, I need my space, or I don't want you here all the time, they're beginning to feel like, you are doing too much, or you don't want me anymore. But if you make room for your partner to be able to communicate that with you, it makes it easier. The relationship flows seamlessly. So I think that that's it on situation like that.
Yes, that's honestly a great take. I mean, very similar to what I had in mind. But Vera, see, sometimes you make me wish that we should bring another girl here.
We should bring
We should bring another lady here. Why would we be sharing the same
No,
thoughts?
when it comes to this one, right, I think it's just logical for people to want to have space. I don't
Yeah.
think there's anybody that wants to say, I'm a clingy girl, right? I'm going to always tell you that I want to be with my man, I want to do this, I want to do that. But we're talking marriage here. And even if we're not talking marriage, there is definitely a time in your life where you just want your space. It's part of how you were created. It's part of who you are. You know, you yearn for your own space. Some people yearn for it more than others. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, as a human being, you want your space, you know. So it is not like a thing where maybe another person should have another option or will have another option or thought process. It's just a logical thinking. The problem is that some people always want to have their own space when they want to have their own space, but they do not always understand when another person needs space.
Yeah.
It can be how do I call it? It can be interpreted as a lot of things. For example, if we are together, I know I need space, right? And I'm going to be like, oh, I need space, and I'm going to get my own space. However, if you now tell me you need space, there is that
Exactly.
mentality that, oh, why do you suddenly need space? You know, do you want to do something? Are you cheating on me? Are you not having feelings for me anymore? So that alone makes it very difficult for people to open up to their partners and be like, I want space, or this is what I want in my personal space right now. I don't want you in my personal space right now. Also, manner of approach matters as well. Because if you are in a relationship with someone and you want them to understand that you have space, tone is very important. I remember I was listening to Adesoa and Banky W one time, and they were talking about the difficulties that they faced in their marriage at the early years. And then Banky was saying that sometimes they will have a conversation or an argument, and she will be like, why are you talking to me like that? And he'll be like, how am I talking to you? Like, I'm literally
Exactly.
just telling you something. And then
Yeah.
like, and she started to cry, like, you're talking to me with so much disrespect. Then he now realized that it was a tone in which he was saying it. So I'm like, yes, when it comes to relationship, you pay attention to even the littlest of things, your tone. So when you're telling your partner in this space, you have to have a certain tone. I don't know how I will teach you that one, Sha, but you have to have a certain tone that doesn't give the impression that, oh, I want this thing because I don't want you anymore. You have to give a tone that shows that, oh, this is what I want this space for. You know, you have to give a tone, you have to give an explanation that is worth believing, not even for the sake of what believing, because at the end of the day, you're telling the truth. There's no need to try to convince someone to believe you, but then you have to be honest, you know, keep the room open for honesty, so that way that relationship can be seamless. And if you're telling your partner I need space, they can understand and they can give you the appropriate space that you need.
Well, Vera has said a lot of it, but then I can still hear that voice in my head ringing that it's telling me that, and it's not even my own voice, it's the voice of the people I saw on social media.
Oh, okay.
And one of them was very funny, and it was a lady. She was like, how do you expect to build with a growing man when most growing men are like this? That is why you should have a man that doesn't have anything less than a 2-bedroom flat. Now, you're laughing. Why are you laughing? Now, in a situation like this, do you think it's more or less a matter of the capacity of the man? Because some people would say that the reason he refused is because it's beyond his ability. It's beyond what he can cope with. Because, for example, if your sibling or a family member or someone close to you reaches out to you and says, okay, Vera, please, can I get 1,000 naira? Or give me 500 naira? Even if it's impromptu, at the very least, you're like, okay, I can spare 500, I can spare 1,000. But someone comes to me, Vera, I need urgent 500k like this as of right now. It doesn't matter how much you love that person. If it's beyond your capability, it's beyond your capability.
True.
Now, is this the same situation in the sense that, okay, perhaps, his current domicile is not within, the means of accommodating himself and her? That's one of the reasons why he was upset, because he was livid. You could see in the video that he was livid, he was yelling, he was angry as to why she would come with all of this luggage, all of this load without informing him prior. And now she expects him to not only pay for the carriage, but also move all the luggage into the place. So is it a matter of he can't provide it because if he wants to, he would? Or is it a matter of, it doesn't matter if I have an entire estate to my name, if you pull that kind of rubbish, the reaction will be the exact same thing. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's a matter of, oh, it's because he has a 1-bedroom flat or he has a self-con, that's why he's doing like this. If he had a 2-bedroom duplex, what would it take to allow her to just move in at once? You know, but then what's your take on it?
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with the person's capabilities, because
Okay.
everybody have what it is that they love and they hate. And as I said before, I made emphasis on privacy, the fact that every human being needs their space, you know, and some people are just very aware of it than others. So if you are packing your things to your man's house and your man is angry about that, he has the right to be, you know, because you are invading his space. And every human being do not like to be invaded. Like, there's nobody that loves to be invaded. Some people might be of considerate to you because you're their partner and they love you, while others to be straight up with you, like, this thing you did now is not funny, you shouldn't try it anymore,
It's not
you know, and
acceptable.
all of that. Now also, maybe capabilities can cause further reactions, but it
Okay.
is not the primary reaction of, you know, situations like that. It could cause further reactions, like, okay, now you are here, what happens next? If someone that has money, maybe, and the person is honest, and you know, and all of that, can be like, okay, you know what, you can stay and all that, I would take care of you or fund you. While on the other hand, someone who doesn't have a, be like, how do you want us to start? You know, and they'll begin to worry about stuff like that, and you know, at the end of the day, their reactions will come up like you have seen in the video. But then we cannot say for a fact that we know that this is about his pocket or his finances. We can only assume. But I am very certain that capabilities or the pocket of a man does not in any way support or bring out that attitude from this man. It is anger, first of all, and that anger most definitely comes from, you're just invading my privacy, which, as I said before, nobody wants their privacy to be invaded. So I think we just do this thing of wrapping everything around money sometimes, that we take away the essence of other people's existence as well, outside of money. Like, I can be angry over something else that doesn't have to do with money.
Yeah.
I can decide to not do something.
I'm not even thinking about the cost. I'm just thinking about,
like,
yeah.
A lot of people might choose something and say, oh, because they don't have money. They might not just be interested in that thing, you know. So those conversations need to be had, and we need to establish the fact that not everybody needs, or not everybody reacts out of their pockets, or they have or they don't have. There are other reactions as well, and it's very okay to react that way, especially as a man.
Well, the very I said it's very okay to react that way. We're going to go on a break and play you some wonderful songs, and by the time we come back, we'll be rounding up and, you know, we'll be letting you know some more things concerning this story. If you're enjoying it, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms, subscribe on YouTube at Cemtv Plus, and every other platform you can follow us: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, at Cemtv Plus. This still is Jolly Life, and I remain Emmanuel Tamanor Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
This is Cemtv. Reliable news and entertainment.
Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world, connecting every voice.
What's on your mind today? The goal by Victor Osimhen was amazing.
The economy. Isn't that what's on everybody's mind?
I would like to see more women in positions of authority.
If you heard and saw it from Cemtv, you can take it to the bank. Cemtv, your reliable source of news, information, and entertainment.
The birthing of something new, African, Nigerian. Our vision is to become a leading and trusted television network in Africa and beyond, delivering credible news, inspiring stories, and engaging entertainment that informs, empowers, and connects communities. Cemtv, from Africa to the world.
This is Cemtv, reliable news and entertainment.
Worried about the state of your world? Need better and broader ideas? Stay tuned to Cemtv 24/7, always thinking possibilities. Cemtv, reliable news and entertainment.
Cemtv wakes you up, goes through with you, welcomes you back home. It's all about you, for you. We break your day to the rising of the sun. We start you off on the positives with self-energized refilling. Hand in hand, toe to toe, in a soothing by and by. We go through your day, keeping you updated with developments around your world and your endeavors. You're better off with Cemtv. As your cheerleader, in your little winning steps, we've got your back when you're down. This is Cemtv, reliable news and entertainment.
You see, there's something beautiful about the voices of Johnny Drill, Ira Star, and Young John. That song was beautiful, beautiful love song. And of course, considering the fact that we're talking about a situation where love should be what conquers all. So I think it's quite ironic how, love is still being talked about despite what we're talking about today.
I would like to add that, if maybe there's something important that you need and someone is telling you about love, singing love song to you, you should not listen to them. That person is evil towards you.
See, that person is evil towards you.
Honestly, though, if you need something, you're asking.
So then, would you not say this guy is evil because she came because of love?
That one is different. And the funny thing now, the man was never offering her love, but you see the one that you are asking them for help, and then they are refusing, but then they are offering you love. Run, pray for them that they go to hellfire, because I promise you that is wicked. That's the one you should run away from. That's what you should do.
Say that's the one you should run away from. That one came from the heart.
Yes.
It came from deep within our oracle's heart. Well, the first one we played for you on that break was Benson featuring Fola Very Soon. And then we played you Colorado by Johnny Drill featuring Iris Star and Young John. I don't know why he removed the wicked producer from his name, but I believe he has
I think
repented.
he's slipping on production now, so maybe that's why. You know, he started off as a producer, basically, before he got into music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think now he has, you know, channeled his energy to singing, to being an artist, and not just a producer. So I
For
guess
me, it's like the wicked producer was really nice.
Yeah, wicked producer was good for what he was doing at the time. For now.
Regardless, he could have now changed it to it's Young John, the wicked musician. I like that wicked. Why did he let go of his
the wicked
wickedness?
artist?
He could have become a wicked musician.
Yeah, well, Young John is an amazing artist. I think one of his songs that I'm so hyped about now is Elumelu.
Elumelu, yeah, that song. That song has my brain.
I've literally not had someone like sing about a billionaire like that. You know how people always be like $1 and all of that, and it fascinates me like Elumelu. Fascinates me. I love the song so much. I love Young John. It's funny how we have seen his progress from production to being an artist, and yeah, we love that. We love that.
We really do. Well, back to our topic before we round up for today, or we round off the show for today. Now, Vera, I would want to ask the question that is on everybody's mind. If you've seen the social media post, you know that this is a question that so many people were asking, so many people were answering, and so many people were attempting to answer. And it is, was the man wrong for his reaction? And was the lady wrong for, you know, coming unannounced with her luggage and all her load? Was she wrong, and was the guy wrong?
Well, first of all, it depends on the dynamics. However, logically looking at that, I think it's the lady's wrong, but the guy isn't, because you're invading someone's privacy. They have the audacity, they have the right to react in whatever way that they want to react, and you don't invade people's privacy and still act like it's your right to invade their privacy. And that's why I said it depends on the dynamics. You know, as I said before, there are different options to why she would do that, or different reasons rather to why she would do that. Either she's suspecting him, or, you know, maybe they've been dating for too long and it's time for her to be the wife. You know, there are different reasons whatsoever that must have led to her actions. So it also depends on that. But logically, without no reasons attached, and then judging by that, she's wrong and the guy is right for his reactions.
Well, if I were to, you know, drop my 2 cents on the matter, I would say that, you know, the lady was wrong for barging into her boyfriend's house with her luggage. Because it is one thing to, you know, inform someone beforehand that, look, I have a so issue. I was chased from my home. My home was flooded, and so on and so forth. So please, can I, you know, come to your place? And to not inform the person of any issues prior whatsoever, and then coming with all of your property. It makes absolutely no sense. Because it is his home. You're not yet married, so it means the house is his. You're not sharing that home as a couple. And of course, there are many factors, like Vera said, attached to this particular situation. Maybe she was in a dire situation, but even then, I think that at least a second or two could have been spared to inform her boyfriend that, look, I'm in a desperate strait right now. I need your help. I've been kicked out of my home. You know, my rent expired. You know how it is. I've been trying to pull the rent together, but it got too bad, and you're the only one I can come to, and all of that. That would have been a completely different case, and you would have been able to tell, you know, your partner, because one thing about relationship is communication is key. You cannot have a relationship without communicating with your partner, especially if you're looking forward to something serious in the future. You're having issues, you know, come about your rent. You don't need to ask your partner. All you can say is, look, I don't know how this month is looking, but I don't really see myself being able to bring this rent, and my landlord has threatened me. You know, you don't need to beg them. You don't need to ask them. It's just to inform them. You can tell them, babe, look, with the way it's looking, I don't know if I can come and stay with you because with the money I'm being paid, I've tried saving. My landlord raised the rent unduly. I tried asking him why he raised the rent. He refused to give me a logical answer, and it's beyond what I'm paying now. So if I try to bring out more money from my monthly income to save up, to pay the rent at the end of the year, I'll have nothing to pay for my transport to work. I'll have nothing to feed from, and I'll have nothing to use to provide for any other miscellaneous need I may have. That's a completely different case. But this case, as far as we know, is not one of them. The lady packed her load, I like the way Nigerians coin words, packed her ngongo. She packed her ngongo and came to his house. I wanted to land like the madam she is, but unfortunately, he had to put her in her place. That's the most we can take here on Jolly Live, Vera. Abi, we should stay till 3, Abi?
No, that's okay. I think we've tried. We've been here, we've talked, we've had a conversation.
Yeah.
And we'll slowly get to the point where, of course, you can be a part of our conversation. And when this video comes across on your phone or your screen, on our social media handles, do well to, of course, drop your comments under the post so we know exactly what your thoughts are and we can relate to your thoughts as well.
And of course, don't forget to follow us on all social media handles at Cemtv Plus, Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Cemtv Plus as is shown on your screen. And if you have some inquiry to make, you can reach out to the hotlines, of course, still displayed on your screen. I am Emmanuel Tamino Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short. And with this, we temporarily bid you adieu. Jolly Life will be back on your TV tomorrow. Don't go anywhere.